Hi, and welcome to the first real technical section of this course. So we're going to kick things off with a topic that is very near and dear to my heart personally. It's something that I love to do as a developer, but I especially love to teach. It's something that I think is pretty engaging to learn as well. So that topic is animations in CSS. So CSS comes with a couple of different built-in tools for creating animations, ranging from really simple things like a hover effect up to pretty complex full-blown animations that you would expect from maybe an artist, even narrative animations. Now, we're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into creating short films or anything with CSS, which is technically possible, but we are going to focus on the more practical elements. So what that means in practice is that we'll start off by talking about the different tools that we need. Things like CSS transforms, transitions, as well as keyframe animations. So we'll learn those different tools, and then we'll learn to put them together to make a couple of different projects. But before we get there, I love doing this. I just want to show a couple of really cool examples of what people have done with animations. And then I also want to discuss why animations really matter. It's not just that they're flashy or impressive. But we'll start off by taking a look at things that are flashy and impressive. The first one I want to talk about is a site called In Pieces. 30 species, 30 pieces, or species in pieces, species in pieces. Basically, it's an amazing website that has 30 animated little visuals of 30 different endangered species. So if we click on one, let's take the African penguin. You can see that it's formed from, well, there's 30 triangles here, and that's kind of the pieces part of the name. But anytime I go to another animal, those same 30 triangles reconfigure. They change shape, but they're still triangles. They change color and they change position to form another animal. So now we have the Greek red damsel and so on. So I could spend forever looking at this, playing with it. It's a really cool site to check out. It works on mobile as well. Really impressive stuff, but it's all done with CSS, and that's actually what I find more impressive. So we won't, unfortunately, be getting into creating something like this. This is as much art as it is web development, but we will learn the tools that this uses or that this is built upon. Another thing I'll show you is this site for a French creative agency. It's just a portfolio page or a marketing page, but it has a ton of animations going on. So aside from the cool art style, you can see simple things like these glasses. These sunglasses have a glare animating, but then there's this nice little bouncy effect here and over here as well. Let me refresh the page so that you can see what happens. There's this loading icon and then that cool, I don't know what to call that, sort of liquid effect as it loads. And that's all done with CSS as well. And I could go on and on with a bunch of other examples. As students in my previous courses can attest, I just find cool CSS projects really fun. I want to take a moment to now go back to something more real world or more applicable to your life and to most developers' lives. We're not usually creating these amazing art pieces. We're usually adding animations to more traditional web apps. So I'm on the Udemy homepage here, and there's a bunch of animations that you may or may not notice as you use the site day to day. So things like, I hover over a course, let's say the Web Developer Bootcamp, we get a sort of opacity effect where it dims a little bit to show that it's selected, and then slowly this pop-up fades in on the right side. It's not immediate, it fades in. And that was a choice that the developers made. Similarly, if I resize the page here, take a look at the hamburger menu. As I click on it, we get this nice animated slide out. So this is a pretty common thing on mobile apps to have animated, rather than just having it appear out of nowhere. It makes for a better experience, a lot of people would argue, to have it fade in or have it slide in like that. So just two simple things that you may or may not notice, but there's animations all over the place on sites, and most of the time they're not that intrusive.